green news. In our top story, Wellington City Council has an awesome vision of a sustainable climate-friendly eco-capital. To achieve this, they have declared a climate emergency and a plan to be net carbon zero by 2050. Way to go, Wellington! Woo! Wellington Airport will be doing its part by reducing its carbon emissions by 30% by 2030.
Does that include the $1 billion airport expansion?
Apparently, it does.
Do they include the airplanes?
No, it does not include aeroplanes.
Well, that doesn't make sense. Aeroplanes cause 6% of New Zealand's gross greenhouse gas emissions and 10% of Wellington's. And now the airport wants to double the number of people flying. So how can they reduce their emissions?
I do not know.
Does it include construction?
The emissions target do not include construction.
Well, that doesn't make sense either. They'll need to move 60,000 truckloads of earth and cover lots of ground with concrete. That's a whole lot of embodied carbon.
It doesn't make sense to me. Let's go live at the airport. Connor, what can you tell us? And we're back. We seem to be having a few difficulties with noise levels.
What I'd like to know is what Wellington City Council are doing about this airport expansion. They must be fighting it, right? I mean, they've declared a climate emergency after all, and how does that work with all these extra emissions?
No, it says here that they own a big chunk of the airport and they're helping to make it happen.
Wait, what?
I don't understand that either. Let's go to Oliver, who has a couple of guests to talk to.
I am joined in the studio by two people who are fighting the airport expansion. Welcome, Yvonne and Joe from the Guardians of the Bays. Yvonne, who are the Guardians?
The Guardians of the Bays are a group of everyday people fighting to stop the expansion of the airport in a climate change emergency.
That seems a bit unfair. It's $1 billion company that owns most of the airport. Joe, can you stop the expansion?
Yeah, absolutely. We've beaten the airport before when we stopped the airport runway extension, and we can do it again, but it's going to be a really tough fight.
Why is that?
Well, we have to take the airport to the Environment Court, and that's going to be a long, hard process. The airport has a massive budget, heaps of money to spend on lawyers and experts. We've got volunteers, and all of our lawyers and experts, they're paid for using donations.
You're relying on donations to fund this fight?
Yes, we're relying on donations to fight and go to the Environment Court. And I'll be honest, we really haven't got enough funds to do that.
So if I give $10, you'll spend all of that on the court case?
Yep, every single cent will be spent on the Environment Court.
There you have it, folks. The Guardians need donations to help stop the airport expanding in a climate emergency.